All right, we're live. All right, shalom to the nation of Israel, the wholesome elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, we're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Okakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, all right, who rule well and aside this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the wholesome elect. Shalom. Peace and mercy to
Shalom.
And shalom to the hopeful elect, all right, that are pushing this word in truth and sincerity, and sincere 1/3 that may listen. So this lesson is going to be open forum on the destruction of Babylon, which is a major prophecy in the scriptures, right? It's the destruction of Babylon, which is known today as America. Right, America, also known as spiritually Egypt. Okay, and one of the major ways, and that we're going to transfer into the height of Jacob's trouble, the climax of Jacob's trouble, is the collapse of the dollar. Right, and once that happens, man, people thought that this first shindig that we went through was serious, but what the Most High is getting ready to do is He's getting ready to cut off your food, all right? Not just the fact that you're shut down at your house and you can't go out and travel. That was the beginning. What the Most High is getting ready to do is shut down the food, right? And shut down protection. You're not going to have protection in these times, man, right? You're going to have people going crazy. We're crazy in the sense where you see in a movie, like zombies running around like World War Z. These are all prophetic things, and they're all biblical things that the Most High is getting ready to bring to this wicked society. Okay, but go ahead, Ashar. You could start off with
James.
Yeah.
The book of James, chapter 5.
Malak, your mic is making it echo.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And it reads, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that should come upon you."
That's right, man. There's going to be a lot of measures that are going to come upon this wicked society, right? Continue.
Verse 2, "Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are more than heathen."
So the riches of this wicked society of America, all right, which is the money system, is corrupted, right? And how is it corrupted? Well, it has no actual backing. It has no physical backing towards the dollar, all right? The currency that we run off of, being the fiat currency, that term fiat is Latin for what? I believe, or it's like let it be, right? So basically, what they're saying with these notes is that if it says $20, they're saying let it be $20, but it's actually not worth anything. And you can't run a society based upon a fiat currency.
Fake money.
Yeah, there were these two guys who went through all these fiat currency, and basically they got from the fiat currencies were categorized from A to Z. And they got to A and halfway through B, and it was 600 fiat currencies, and every single one of them failed. And they were just midway through B, and the thing was categorized all the way to Z. So that just goes to show you that this money system that Esau has set up is bound to fail and crumble.
Yeah, because these devils they set up a thing called the Federal Reserve, right? On Jekyll Island.
God. Yeah, God. That was around in 1913, right? 1913, I think it was.
Before because after that, when they created the Federal Reserve, and then you had the Great Depression, and then after that they took the dollar off the gold standard, right?
Right. That's right.
So that was a thing that was meant to fail, and that bubble was meant to burst because this dollar is, as you said, it's false, it's corrupt, And then you have a system called the credit system, which the word credit means basically belief,
Right.
faith, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. See, so this society is based Esau society, primarily America, really the whole world, but America primarily is based upon the people believing in the lies.
That's
You
right.
know, the moment that people stop believing in the lies, that's when everything starts to crumble. Right? You lose control.
Verse 3.
I just
Your
want to
gold.
just quote Sluggia. Sluggia?
Yeah,
You guys
Khan.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
I believe it was what was owner of a Ford company back in the day. What was his name? Harold, was it Gerald Ford?
No,
Say
I
it
think you're
again?
talking about Henry Ford.
He said
Oh,
if
Henry
people
Ford. Henry Ford.
Henry Ford, let's see. Henry
Yeah.
Ford. He said if people understood the monetary system,
Khan.
there would be a overthrow of the government overnight.
Right. Khan.
Yeah, he was
there's
against Amalek.
You don't know how the system of money is supposed to be working.
Yeah, he
That's
was
right.
against Amalek, man. When he sold you the car, he gave you a pamphlet exposing the Amalekites,
Hmm.
right? When he sold the Ford cars back in the day, right? There was a book called The Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion, right?
Okay. Khan.
Which goes into, their plans and whatnot. And I think he would give you that book. If not that book, it was another book basically exposing Amalek.
Right. Khan.
Verse 3. Your gold and silver is conquered, and the wrath of them should be witnessed against you. It
Yeah,
should be.
the rust of them should be a witness against you. That's happening right now. Why do you think things are getting so expensive? Right? Because they're pumping more currency than money.
That's right.
And that's something that people don't understand is there's a difference between money and currency. Money, simply put, money has a stored value. Right? It has a stored value forever. It doesn't change its value. Okay? But currency is just basically you're just pumping the economy with money or with so-called money with notes, right? Which is devaluing the note itself. Hence why things are getting more expensive. So the rust is showing their wickedness in their money system. Go ahead.
It says.
Well, currency goes into what? It goes into admiralty law. Right? Because it's a currency.
Right.
So that's the thing that they push.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, and a currency is anything that they sign into law. Right?
Come on.
That's where the word current comes from,
Right.
And shall eat your flesh as if were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days.
God. And the last days that they've heaped treasure together for the last days. Really, the transferring of kingdoms and the transferring of riches. Because when the elect come on this earth with Yahweh Shai is going to take the crowns. The scriptures talk about Yahweh Shai taking the crowns off the heads of all these kings. So he took away all their power, all their rulership, right? And he's taking it. So all the riches that these, not just Esau, but all these other nations have heaped up for themselves, is going to be given to the Israelites, the elect, right? To establish the new kingdom. You need money to pay the worker to establish the new kingdom, to make infrastructure and such. But really, it goes back to the earth being created for us.
Verse 4, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of your kept back by fraud.
Yeah.
Cry and the cries of them.
Right. Kept back by fraud. Like what? The scriptures talk about that when a man works for you, you're supposed to pay him that day.
Yeah.
Not, some people get paid monthly, man.
Yeah.
Right? And some people get paid a salary where you get the same wage, even though you might do more work.
Yep.
So that's a fraud, right? Also taxation. You're taxing people, right? there's I think in our law it talks about after so many years, after a certain amount of years, you're supposed to forget the debt, let go of the debt.
It's a
right?
year of jubilee, right?
Year of jubilee.
Is it every 7 years? Is that right?
Yeah, I
There's
think
one
it
like
is 7
that,
years.
and then there's one on I think every 49th year as well,
Okay, okay.
or 50th, right? Something like that. But yeah, every 7 years a debt is forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
but this society lives off of debt, right?
Right, con. Yeah, that's true. The society lives off of debt.
And when we're buying things, or buying, you're actually trading debt.
Right,
Right?
right.
You're not even
Con.
really purchasing; you're trading debt. That's why
That's right.
the majority of Ontarians, right, people in Ontario, you're actually more in debt than the average Californian.
yeah.
Interesting.
Well, Isa what he does in the banking industry, what he does is you put money into your bank, and then he lend it to you other people for high interest, and you don't. He's making more money on the interest which your money sitting in the bank. Which what do you make? Even at 1%.
Right. Yeah.
They're gonna precept.
Con.
This book of Jeremiah, chapter 22 and 13 says, "Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that uses his neighbor's services without wages, and giveth him not for his work."
Con. You can break that down, brother.
Slaki, it says, woe is pretty much destruction and death unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness. Now, Esau has built his house, as the brothers are going into, with usury, interest rates, taxation, and false balance, so on. So, we could go on and on and on. Fractional reserve currency, as Brother Shaw was going into. It says that use his neighbor's services without wages. Now, people like the brother went into, you're supposed to be getting paid daily. But here that you're getting paid, whether it be every 2 weeks or monthly.
Right.
So you're not even getting your money when you're supposed to get it.
Right.
It says, and giving him not for his work. Now, starting with the Israelites, or the 12 tribes, which he enslaved, they were not paid for their services. All right, and that was built on the America's economy was built on the backs of the Negroes. All right, and the other tribes, land tribes. So, man.
That's right.
And Isa do this thing like, well, yeah, if you work overtime, you make more money, knowing that if you work extra time, more time, he'll take more taxes out of your paycheck, and you look at the end of it, like, what am I getting paid for?
Yeah. Well, you know what? These notes, these federal notes, as they are, they really buy your time and your energy. That's what they do.
Wow.
That's what they do, right? And there's a term
Well, it's like Apostle Gabar made a video years ago, and he said he was going into how the dollar bill is really a talisman, right? Because they have a bunch of witchcraft, man. They got Molech hidden in there.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of Roman, with the I think the arrows, and then there's a bunch of things in there that you can look at. They got the Al Sinai, the pyramid, Novus Ordo Seclorum. So it's basically just a talisman that people go crazy over, and it's actually one of the dirtiest things you can touch.
Yeah,
you know that, right? Like a dollar bill, any kind of bill. They say the amount of germs on there is just.
Yeah.
It's like in Malak, yeah.
Yeah.
Malak volume.
Oh shoot.
You gotta mute them, brother.
Yeah, Con.
Am I muted?
No, you're good.
You're good now.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying. Imagine, just a $1 bill goes through 50,000 hands, and 49,000 of those people have meningitis. And if the Lord wanted to use one of them to kill you, no, but it's true. That's one of the most dangerous things. But that goes back to that word moth-eaten. Amalek's system is total corruption. And I pull up the word talisman.
Spirit.
It says 1630 is a magical figure cut or engraved under certain observances. Yeah,
Yeah.
from French
Well, that's,
talisman. Yeah,
that
just thought
reminds
of.
me of Slovakia. That reminds me of the Krosman, right? Because that's ultimately what. Can you read the definition again?
Yes,
Someone-
talisman. It's a noun. 1630s. Magical figure cut or engraved under certain observances.
Right.
From
And-
French talisman,
Right.
right? And then in Arabic, if you come across it and they say tilsam, then you know what the hell they're talking about as well. And then it says Byzantine Greek telesma, which is the same thing. So if you hear a Greek come out, roll up on you and say say that, you know what the hell they're talking about, right? And yeah, but that goes back all to that moth-eaten. But excuse me, the corruption that the brother mentioned earlier that you were bringing out, and what the elder brought out as well, that corruption. But yes, magical figure cut out or engraved.
Yeah. The word
Under,
that
under certain observances. That's what the elder you mentioned. How the people worship the dollar and how it's filthy, right? That filthy lucre. Yeah, hey, the scripture says filthy lucre. Yeah, but anyway,
Back
that's
to James 5 and I finished this. Which have reaped and entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Right? Verse 5. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Sabaoth.
Yes, Sabaoth. Verse 5. You have lived in pleasure on the earth, and being wanton, you have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter.
Yeah, because this is talking about ultimately the banking family, right? The Most High has, according to prophecy, he gave these devils a time to rule, and a time to corrupt the whole earth and deceive the whole earth, right? When you go into Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, with Lord William, I'll bring up. It basically tells you their conversations, their mentality, right? There's one precept where it says, "Come, let us come together and use this world as if we were in our youth." You know, and that always reminds me, when you see kids play with toys, man, they have no regard for the toy. If it breaks, it breaks. They want another one, right? And that's Esau. Esau is like, and that's why that's what he's doing with America. Esau, these banking families, these bankers are purposely, destroying America because they believe that they're going to rise up out of the ashes to set up, their new world order. But according to prophecy, the Most High said he's going to, that's not going to come to fruition.
That's right. Verse 6, you have condemned and killed the just, and he do not resist you.
That's right, because we're not in power, man. What are we going to do against Esau? You have other Israelite camps out there that have guns at camp, right? But they lack understanding on prophecy and where we are. We're in captivity.
Can you hear me now?
No, we can hear you.
The volume.
It's echoing for some
Oh, I
reason.
think, you know what? Let me check my volume here.
No, you muted.
Is that a little better?
No, it's still echoes when we speak.
Yeah, it's not when you speak, it's when we speak.
Oh, wow. Okay, let me turn down my volume. How's that now?
No, it's not. You can still hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, we're still echoing.
It's still echoing, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on here.
In the meantime, though,
Try to exit out and come back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to exit out and come back in.
We continue.
That never happened before.
Verse 7, be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord Yahweh. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit on the earth. And how long patient for it until he received the early and latter rain.
Khan, slack it, brother. Read that verse again.
Verse 7, be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai.
Con.
Says, behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth.
Yeah. Who's the husbandman? That's Yahweh Shai. Right? And he's waiting for the precious fruit of the earth. That's the elect. Those are the precious fruit alongside with the 1/3. Right? That's why he's told us to be patient. Right? Which means to suffer, man. We're in captivity and we have a time and we're almost out of this captivity, right? So suffering is necessary.
Right.
The precept you
how
read
long?
before that, the precept you read before that is very important because it says, you mentioned the Lord of Sabaoth. I just want to say it because it blends right in with what was just said, right? It's very important because it says, which really means the Lord of armies. That's Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, okay? As those who are under the leadership and protection of Yahweh maintain his cause in war, right? So which is the Lord of armies, the Lord of hosts. That's who Sabaoth is, the Lord of Sabaoth. That's for you folks out there, right? These brethren knew that, but I just thought I'd bring that out because some people think it's the Lord of the Sabbath. And that's what it means. But it's the Lord of armies, the Lord of war, right?
Right.
And he's there for he's the leadership of our protection, right? Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? And it says maintain his cause of war. So this system is finished. That's what's really going on here, because he's going to put his entrance in very shortly, and it's not going to be pretty, and it's going to be sudden. That's one thing that we know. Sudden destruction, like the scriptures declare. Go ahead, brother. Just
I
thought
can
I'd
Hey,
bring
that was a
that
good
James.
point. I was just laughing because you had a guy that
up. Okay.
who's supposedly
He knows why I'm
the
laughing.
leader of all Israel. He broke
Mhm.
it down as that's the Lord of the Sabbath, man.
Well, I'm going to say this for you, Elder, because I remember years ago you actually shared this lesson with us. You went into it. We did the lesson on the Lord of armies, and this precept came up. And I think later on we were blown away. Well, I was blown away when this man said that what you just said. I don't know if you brothers know who that is. Who said
Johanna.
they said they
General
called it
Johanna.
Lord of Sabbath, and
Oh.
he was,
Yeah.
you know, remember?
God. Yeah. God.
He read it. Yeah, he read it live, man. He was like, "That's the Lord of the Sabbath, man."
You see?
Yeah.
He didn't know what the meaning was, but that's why the apostles tell you got to look up words, man.
God.
You got to be like Inspector Gadget with these words. Oh, what does that mean? I don't know. Well, let me look it up. You know,
God.
because Jake's like, "What does it mean? I don't know." Well, fuck it. You know,
Yeah.
that's
God.
Jake's spirit, man. But you got to
Yeah.
look it up, get all into it, and then it becomes fascinating, right?
Yeah. God.
And how long patient for it until he received early in the latter rain.
Yeah. So we're waiting. So that's very straightforward. We can't overcome Esau right now. we don't have any power. We have to wait for Yahweh Shai to get the former and the latter rain. We're waiting for the latter right now.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
And
The
once
former reign has to do with the elect, right? And they're going to be raised up again to receive the latter rain. That's exactly it. So that's why the scripture talks about, I will bring you into remembrance as well. So speaking to the elect, that they're going to be those ones. Simply put.
First 8.
Shalom
Go
to
ahead,
the
brother.
brother Pillar of Benjamin.
Khan Shalom.
Verse 8. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord Yahweh draw a night.
Establish your hearts. So what is that talking about? Establish your mind. Right? And how do you establish your mind? You get into the scriptures. You learn more about the Heavenly Father and His Son, their nature, their ways. You learn about your enemy. All right. You learn about how your enemy is, his nature. You learn about the flesh. This is I've been saying this the last couple of weeks to certain clients. The Spirit always has me talking to my clients about the scriptures here and there. But I always say that there's American history, there's Canadian history. This book, this Bible is our history. So we need to get into it and understand it and know it for ourselves. It's not meant for other nations to know. We're supposed to proclaim to the other nations what it is.
Verse 9. grudge no one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door.
Yep.
And
Which
that's
is the
more
mark.
common than not, because a lot of brothers get in that weird spirit, man. Because
Yep.
there's different camps, there's different bodies, different peoples that have different walks of life, different ages, different tribes. So there's just sometimes bullshit. And when you see it, you got to stomp it out, and you got to get in that spirit of just knowing that what the scripture just said, the judge standeth at the door, man. Because, you know, it makes me think of one example of one brother that used to be in the camp, and we found out why he left. And he's like, man, it's just, he's like, he just had it in his heart every time when he saluted one brother. You know, he couldn't handle that. You know, he couldn't handle the fake, you know, because he didn't like that brother, you know. So man, all that grudge, that's why there's a Day of Atonement. That's why there's a Passover.
Yeah.
These different cycles, you got to purge yourself, purge out that leaven. You know, what's the point of coming to Pesach or doing the Day of Atonement, and in your heart you're like, man, you know, you just feel away. There's no point, you know.
Yeah, that's right. That's it on that app. Is there more on that verse? That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Come on. I got this. This is 2nd Ezra 15. And I'll start at 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Right? And that's America. Right? That's the land of Egypt. And 2/3 of Israel are going to be led to the slaughter because they believe in Egypt. All right? But it says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and scattered and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So that's why you see in America, there's so many different things happening at once. There's a shortage of food. The dollar is crashing. There's earthquakes. There's shootings. These are all plagues. Egypt got hit. When you go into history, Egypt got hit with so many different plagues. It was like it was baffling for these guys, man. Everybody was caught in confusion, really. You know, but that's what you're seeing again coming to America. People are confused. People are unstable. Their minds are unstable because the Most High has plagues brewing in America and really across the whole world, because the whole world has drunken the wine of America. You know?
One of the brothers brought out a video on how America is run on hydroelectricity and how there's such a drought, there's a drought going on. So eventually, there's not gonna be any power besides, EMP attack. So there's no power, man. People don't know how to live like that.
Con, that's crazy you say that, because my client was telling me today that there's a shortage on lithium. Right? You're right. And lithium, you need it for batteries, electric cars, all of it. So that's going into what you're saying. So this, Canada saw, a small couple hours of Rogers not working. You can imagine when there's an outage, a power out, a blackout. These people are not going to regard anything, right? Continuing on in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, it says, verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and there's no longer anything called the American dream. No one even talks about the so-called American dream. So guess what? Egypt and America is mourning right now. Right? It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that will, and when it says foundations, that also represents what? The root of all these lies that America established its kingdom upon, or Esau, these bankers have established their kingdom upon, are getting rooted out through this truth, through the word, through the prophets of the Lord going out there. We're prophesying against this wicked kingdom, bringing out all this truth. Right now, you have all these different kind of truthers who are actually referencing things that we say, that our apostles say, right? When
Yeah,
they're bringing out
basically,
the-
people see that the system is finished. It's
Yeah.
broken.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know.
That's right. And it says, verse 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation, right? And that's going into the farmland, right? These farmers been complaining, right, for months about not being able to basically yield crop, right? And then it says, woe, and then who's buying up all the land? You know, this devil, you know who it is. We can't say his name, but you know who it is. This guy is buying up all the land so that when you have nothing and you need something, you have to come to the devil once again.
Yep.
Right? You have to come to the devil once again. So verse 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Yeah. War to the world. War to the world. For you folks at home.
That's right.
Yeah, like the angel in Revelation, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Con.
Right? That's
Right.
it, man. Just destruction.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
anarchy, chaos.
That's
That's
right.
right. The Lord of Sabaoth is mustering up the troops.
It's gonna be
Con.
World War Z, right?
Yeah.
Con.
Oh,
I'm gonna hold my precept, and the brother from Pillars of Benjamin put up 3. I'm gonna read them real quick. It says Ezekiel 7:25, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Right? The reason why is because it's gonna be too late. Right now, this grace period is where you get your peace. This is where you get your comfort if you're an Israelite. Right? Another precept, 2 Ezra 5:9, it says, and salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chambers.
Yeah,
Verse
so this
10.
is what we're doing right now. You know, this is
Yeah.
grace, man. This is like you said, right? There's gonna come a time where, you know, we're not gonna be able to, and it's not gonna be neither is there gonna be the time to do these lessons.
Con,
You know,
con.
because we're gonna have all hell breaking loose.
That's right. That's right. Verse 10, it says, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency, if I'm not mistaken, be multiplied upon the earth.
Damn.
You know? So you know what's crazy is once the Most High pulls the prophets off the corners, it's gonna get even worse.
And
Because people are
it's
gonna be-
already crazy in the world.
Con,
So the Most High is saying it's gonna be multiplied, man.
con.
Hey, like sometimes when the
Oh.
brothers put up them videos with the death videos and shit, you're like,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah.
that's bad. But it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get worse.
Con.
wow.
And the beautiful thing is that it's gonna get worse because they're gonna look for answers. They're gonna want answers, but they're not gonna find no answers. Right? So when these people are confused, best believe that they're gonna rage. They're gonna rage. You ever listen to someone talking, you don't understand what they're saying, you get pissed off, like, yo,
Yeah.
I don't get what you're saying. You know, you're kind of fed up. You know what I'm saying? That's how these people are gonna be. They're gonna see so much things happening, have all these questions, and then they're gonna get fed up because they're not getting answers. And then they're gonna start raging, man.
Let me get a quick precept.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Award. Hold yours a shot, and then you
Hey,
bring
well,
yours
you
up.
know what? They actually, Slacky, I have to say this. They just came out with a Netflix special today, Resident Evil.
Oh yes.
I gotta check that out, and you brothers should too, because the plot takes place. If you brothers watch like the old Resident Evils, which were good,
Mhm.
Yeah.
basically, they in this one they kind of cleared things up, and it takes place at the beginning is 2022 this year, and then they say sometime after that is when the virus got out, and then it kind of skips forward to like 2032 or something, and then that's when the show takes off. But they say sometime around this time is when the virus. So they're just playing with you people, man. They're showing you.
God.
And you people are like, oh, that's a good show, man. Yo, you seen that show? It's a good show.
Wow.
That's a script.
God. Yeah.
Quick precept. Because you mentioned, there in Ezra's, you read it as well. In the time of that fullness, meaning that when that mandate comes out, okay, and that things go, for lack of better words, as Ezra put it, double. And we understand what that is, because when these Edomites came into power, this Antiochus, right? It says evil multiplied. Okay. And this type of thing is going to be crazy. But I have the precept here in the book of Job. This is Job 20:22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Right. And then it says here, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Right. Now, this wicked here, when you go into it, is talking about the mall. So it's let me just get the word here. So yeah, there it is. It's pronounced, if you can hear this. This is Strong's, page 5998, and this wicked here.
Strong's H 6001. A male.
Right, that's how it's pronounced. Right, goes back to Amal, which Amal or Mal, because it I think the A is silent. Okay, like it says a male. And so you're talking about all these people who are going to turn against Esau, right? All these different wicked people, because as you mentioned earlier, I mean, they don't have anything, right? The hopeful elect has the exemption from judgment. What do they have? They have the chip, and they have the missiles to look forward to.
They got the wages of death waiting for them.
That's what they have looking forward to.
The wages of sin
is death.
That's right.
Wages of sin. That's it, brother. That's the point anyway on that.
Go ahead, Awar.
This is Isaiah chapter 8 and 21. It says, and they shall pass through it, hardly be stead and hungry. And it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king. Like the brother went into, man. They're going to bug out. They're going to wild out, man. A lot of civil unrest. There's this video of an American, I believe he's probably from the South, and he pretty much went into the Second Amendment. He said if the government is going to go after the Second Amendment, there's going to be a riot. There's going to be a civil war in America. All right. So it says, finishing off, it says, and curse their king and their God and look upward. So, like the scriptures say, they should have no respect for, the political figures.
Right.
That's the spirit the brother put it up too.
Yeah, the brother just put it up too.
They should not regard their kings, and their God. So Catholicism, Christianity, it's all gonna go out the window, man. When all hell breaks loose, because the scriptures speak of the furnace trieth every man's you put a man through hell.
Yeah.
And you see really what he's all about. A lot of these Christians, all these Christians, man, are gonna bug out, man.
Right. That's right. That's funny you say that too, because these people are gonna bug out. And what's happening is we're getting a foreshadowing of what's coming over here with these other different countries like Sri Lanka, right? Venezuela. You're getting a foreshadowing of what's coming over here. Right, and it makes sense because the Most High is what? Saving the best, the worst, which for last. You know what I mean? So what you're saying reminds me of that. Ashar, you said you had a precept?
Oh yeah. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13 and 11, and it reads, "And thou, knowing the time, that now it is high time." It's a high time because things are happening quick right now, and we know this there's a storm coming, right?
Con.
To
That's right.
awake out of sleep, because we know a lot of 2/3 of people that are asleep, they're happy right now because this is summer. They have the ability to go and do whatever they want, right? But it's gonna come that place where Jesus is gonna look us up again,
Con.
right? For now, it is our salvation near than when we believe. Right? So
Con.
we believe that hopefully we are one of the elect, and we're gonna be able to make it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what it is.
That's right. Right. And you know what? The majority of our people, they can't see that, you know, we're soon time out of captivity, because when you read in that precept, it's high time you wake out of sleep, for your salvation is nearer as it been.
Yeah.
It's ironic because 2/3 of our people are always questioning their life and why they go through what they go through.
Yeah.
You know, and they go through all these different help books and whatever gurus that speak about life. And here we are, we're like this close of coming out of all of that. And the answer is right here, man. The
Jake
prophets
don't even know that they're in captivity.
Exactly.
Just so what you were saying, see, our people that are so beat down that they don't have that mindset, they don't have that rulership mentality. They think Jesus is gonna rule forever and you're always gonna be in the fucking bottom. Right? But things are gonna turn around. Yeah. If you tell Israelite you're the prince of the power, they look at you like you're a madman.
Yo, I saw another guy I saw at the gym yesterday. What you're saying,
brother be up in the gym knows too much.
Yo, what you're saying, Ashar, is exactly how this Jacob mentality was, and I've spoken to him here and there about the scriptures and such, and he's like, so what do you think about Russia and America? And I said my West prophecy, you know, this, that, and the third, and I kind of broke it down. It's like, yo, the only way out here, out of this destruction, nuclear war, is turning back to the Lord, the Heavenly Father and His Son. And he's like, oh, he kind of looked at me like, you know, and I was like, well, if we don't, we're gonna be destroyed. He's like, oh, well, I guess we're gonna be destroyed.
Yeah, because Jake just looks at it like, you can't talk to Jake like that, because Jake sees it carnally.
Yeah,
he sees that, you know, he sees the fighter pilots, you know, the missiles, tanks. You know,
he sees Top Gun movie, the Top Gun movie. That's what he sees.
Oh shit!
They cannot see the election being beamed up, right? And
then, like you said, it's a very special thing, man.
Yeah,
to understand what you just said, because remember, if you had the spies back then who were searching out the land of Canaan, and even when they seen the giants, they came back and they tried to scare the people, because they were scared. They're like, yo, we're not going to take these people over.
Yeah,
they're giants.
Yeah.
And then and I believe Joshua cursed them out. He said, yo, you can't talk to people, you know, because you're gonna you know, put fear in their heart.
Yeah.
And then he said the Most High is with us, man. You know. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I got the precept real quick, or I can mention it. Isaiah 28 and 21. I think that's the one. For the Lord shall rise up as in Mount Perazim. He shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his strange work, and bring it to pass his strange act. I believe that's the one. Is that the one about the strange act? The other precepts though that talk about, but it doesn't use this word here. But the other precepts in the book of Revelation in terms of coming in the clouds, and in Thessalonians where the Lord delivers the saints, the elect, right just before, in that moment, in the twinkling of an eye, right? And these jakes, they can't see that, no matter how, unless they are meant to see it in spirit and in truth from the elect, you know.
Khan. I want to say this too, because or let me read this, because Pills and Benjamin put this up. That was it on that, Malak?
Yeah, that's point.
Okay.
20 and 21. Yeah.
Ashar, you were done your precept?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, Khan. So this is Job 8 and 13, right? And it says, "So are the path of all that forget Yahweh." And primarily it's talking about Israel, but you know what? You can also include the whole world, because in the ancient world, these other nations knew of the Heavenly Father. So they knew about his power, they knew about what he did to Egypt, right? But we're in a time now where only the true worshipers, being the whole full elected nation of Israel, know of the Heavenly Father and his Son, right? And the hypocrites' hope shall fail. It says, verse 14, whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be a spider's web, man. Because these people, one of you brothers said that these people trust in this society. They trust in America. And everything America has been is a web. America has been a web to the nation of Israel and really to the whole world.
Yeah.
Right? Through their lies, through deceit. Look at how many countries are doing away with the American dollar. Because guess what? They're saying that we're done with this guy, man. We're done with his trickery. We're done with these guys' trickery and their lies. Right? And it says, verse 15, he shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. And that's, I laugh a little bit, I chuckle a little bit, because what I see in my mind is people trying their hardest to keep whatever is being, just like Lot's wife. Okay, when she was looking back at all the riches, because Lot was rich, right? Everything they had in Babylon or Sodom and Gomorrah. And she was still yearning for that stuff, even though fire and brimstone was falling from the sky and destroying it. These people and our people, right, are carnal, man. They're holding on to things of the world, which is going to decay. The things of, right? So that's why they're going to be sore distressed, because they're going to try to find ways to keep their houses, right? Keep their food, keep everything they've gotten, and all of it's going to be destroyed. Right? That was it on that.
Quick preset.
Come on.
This is the book of Isaiah 33 and 1, and it reads, woe to thee, thy spoilers, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they deal not treacherously. With thee, when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they should deal treacherously with thee. That's Esau, right? Because he's been spoiling these nations in every other country to the fullest, right?
Yeah.
And let me finish this verse 2. O Lord, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou their arms every morning. Our salvation also in the time of trouble. And that time of trouble, like the brother said, is here, just around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Con. I'm going to go back here to 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. And it says, woe to the world and to them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. It's soon. And really, the destruction of this society, of America, of this kingdom, was soon as was already started as soon as Abba Bivin was on the scene, because that's prophecy, right? As soon as he came on the scene, right, and established One West, and then our apostles and elders came out of that, and then you have us down here. The Most High, before he destroyed any kind of country or nation, he always sent prophets before he was about to destroy it. So just by us speaking this truth, beginning with the apostles and elders on down, and prophesying against this wicked kingdom, it's enough to tell you guys that we're at the door, man.
Yeah.
And it says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. and swords in their hands. Listen, man, you had the PM of Sri Lanka fleeing his own country, and the people were doing backflips in his pool and whatnot, you know? So, again, like I said earlier, you're getting a foreshadowing of what's coming over here to the Americas. Cause I say it like that because I'm including Canada too.
Yeah.
All right. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men. And when you go into that word sedition, it basically means a difference, a variance between people, right? It says, and invading one another.
Yeah, like in the Purge. It's going to be basically like civil disorder.
Yeah.
Con.
You know?
Con. Civil disorder, con. It goes on to say, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. And
yeah, your prime ministers, your premiers, your mayors, governors, you know.
Yeah, con. And it says, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Right? So basically people are going to do whatever the hell they want to do and however they see fit. And that's dangerous, man. When you think about that, that is very dangerous that people are going to be let loose like that. Because people are bugged out and people are crazy. A lot of people have mental health issues. A lot of people like are psychotic and you wouldn't even know it. But now they're going to be... Go ahead, brother.
No, so like I posted a video and that kid in Australia where he got cut in his throat jugular, you know, for no reason. You know, so people are doing crazy shit right now. They're gonna do shit to kill you, you know. We're done.
That's right. There was that woman that had gasoline tossed on her in a bus station and was lit on fire.
Yeah.
And there was no relation between the guy who lit her on fire and her. None. He just decided, you know, we know it's spiritual. The spirits are created for vengeance.
Yeah.
So it shows you it's a dangerous thing what's going to happen, man. Because these spirits on the left-hand side, to them, that is a party. That's a party. Wilding out, going and doing all type, killing people, raping women, killing babies, doing all type of... That's a party for these left-hand side demons. And the Most High is going to allow them to have that party.
Yeah, have the precept.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it was read forecast in James already, right? It's basically corruption, this wine. This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken.
Yo,
the nation.
Slaki, I just wanted to mention because it said the Lord, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So the
Lord italicized. Go ahead.
Right. So the Lord established these bankers to have rulership over the world. Right. And also it says, what else did it say? To deceive the world?
Right. That made all the earth drunken.
Yeah. And when you're drunk, when you're drunk, it's hard to find like a sense of stability. Right? Yeah. You're kind of like you know, trying to find your balance. Well, that's the lies that these other nations have eaten up from America. And so they've made the rest of the world drunk.
Yeah, and also, brother, remember, when you're drunk, you're pretty much shameless. That's why the scriptures say, carry not your drunkenness into the streets. Right. Because when you go out in the streets, it says, Proverbs says, wine is a mocker. Right. So just like Noah, right? He was in his tent and he had his shame out, right? But he was in his tent.
Right.
But that's how these people are in the world.
Yeah.
Because they're bugged out on these philosophies, right? That's how they appear to be to sober men like us, right? When someone comes up and they talk about whatever they talk about, you're looking at that person like this person's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And then vice versa, they're looking at us like we're crazy. Just like a drunk person looks at a sober person like, you're crazy, man. What are you talking about?
It's true.
Wow. Yeah, the rest of the precept says, the nations have drunken of her wine.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the nations are mad.
Yeah, they're pissed. And they're crazy.
Out. They're gone.
Yeah.
Let me get
Well,
that.
mad again. It means crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Con.
Old English, right? So it actually means they're bugged out.
Right. Con.
Yeah, so this
Can I just read the next precept?
Yeah,
It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Right? We know the infrastructure mentally, morally, spiritually, intellectually. We're just waiting for those missiles.
Mhm.
And it says, how for her take bomb for her pain. We know what bomb they're taking. If so be, she may be healed.
Hey, remember
All
Slack, your brother. Remember after that abortion
Mhm.
ruling,
Mm-hmm.
they said that Google had a high amount of ratings or searches for people
Wow.
asking about moving from the States to Canada.
Bomb?
And in your mind, you should just be like, these bitches just really want to, they
Yeah.
really want to live out that whole life, man.
Yeah.
Like whole is life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Con.
That's it.
Yo,
Wow.
that's a good point, because when you look into scriptures, women were reproached and they would fight each other because one could have a child and the other one couldn't. And now we're in a state where it's the complete opposite. The complete opposite. It's crazy.
Wow.
That's how you know the wicked is ruling.
Yep.
That was it on that, Malak?
Yeah, that's it. That's a beautiful chapter, we know. But yeah, that's point. Yep.
Con.
The wine is
Let me
strong.
give you this to back you up. I'm like, this is Isaiah 31 and 1, and it reads, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. You so-called Negro, Latinos, and Americans, you guys want the government to help you right now, especially in these hard times right now, right? And you probably want to think you're going to get more help down the road when things get worse, but that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And stay on horses and trust in chariots, because there are many, and in horses and horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Con. That's right.
Esau is seeking the Lord, he's
course,
he
yeah.
has it in his daughter Bel, in God we trust, but it's not the same God that we pray,
Mm-hmm. Con. Exactly. Okay, that was it on that, brother?
Yeah, that was it.
Can I just quickly add?
Con.
In Isaiah 30, it says they stay upon horses and chariots thereof. And there's a video of, I believe this guy was a military professional intelligence. And he said that the way America spends the amount of money they spend on their military compared to Russia, Russia spends like 15%. Now, the problem with America is ever since they've been, aiding these other countries, they said that Ukraine they pretty much ran out of Javelin rocket launchers, and they can't catch up with the manufacturing. And that's the thing about Babylon right now. Their manufacturing is it's been outsourced, and
Right.
And Russia, the Medes, they have manufacturing. They got people who want to work. All right, but America, they're through, so they can't catch up to China. They can't catch up to Russia, man. So people are staying on chariots there up in the militias and the tanks and all this and that. Man, this place is through, man.
Yeah, con.
Beautiful point. Searching for that bomb, huh? Well, sorry, I'm just saying. There's no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I read the next precept? Just the 9th verse. I feel impressed to bring it out. It says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her."
Which means that it's going to be there's divine intervention and there's divine destruction.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't. The America, Babylon is getting a divine destruction. So these other nations, they're going to look at America, and these guys are going to look at America, and they're not going to be able to get what they once had with it. They're going to see just by the destruction alone that this is done.
Uh-oh.
Kind of like, when you see a fight and the guy's getting beat up on, and you're like, yo, this
Yeah.
fight's already over. He's still beating him. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that, man.
Wow. Elder, can you break down the second part of this precept? Because I'm chuckling. It says, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, meaning Babylon's judgment, right? And is lifted up even to the skies.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right,
the
man.
point on that. Wow, that's the point. Oh boy.
And you
Wow.
got people leaving America, like they're leaving Babylon because they listen, they don't have the prophecies. They don't know what we know. But that just shows you how imminent, right, the destruction of America is. Because even people without spiritual eyes can see that America is finished as an economy.
Yeah.
So that's why they're dipping out. They're getting out of there, man.
Time to go.
That's right. That was it on that, Malak?
That's right.
Okay,
That's
come on.
it. That was it on that.
Let me close off on this precept.
Oh, before you close up, let me read
Okay.
this.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I got this book from Apostle Tahar because he usually goes deep into stuff. It's called The Fall of Babylon, right? It's a good book because a lot of info. So this guy in the book says, I'm just going to read 2 sentences. He goes, one of the most difficult things I had to do in my years of research into the Bible prophecy was to come to the realization that America is Babylon the Great. I said, I did not want to believe it. I resisted because it means, it says, I resisted because it means that America will be destroyed in a nuclear holocaust.
Hey, man,
So
that's a good way to end it.
you have, people out there that they know America is Babylon the Great, and that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Being revealed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, brother, you have a precept, right? Because I need to bring out these 3 precepts, but but you need to go ahead though, because
Yeah. Let me read this one.
with
then you
what
can
the
bring it
brother
up.
just quoted there from the book, we're going to go into the scriptures and declare it. Because John the Revelator here is reviewing the destruction of this prophecy of the great city. Anyway, brother, go ahead, or you want me to read what you got?
Yeah, I'll read real quick. Yeah, I'll read
Okay,
real quick. Pillars of Benjamin put it out. Isaiah 36:6.
Yeah.
Lo, thou trusteth in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand. So that basically just goes into America. Like, it's gonna trap you. It's gonna affect you. Right? America being destroyed is going to affect you. You stand on a staff and it breaks, you get splinters, it stabs you, right? It's not really a good staff. It's not something you can lean on. And it says, I will go into his hand, or it will go into his hand and pierced it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So,
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe, right? All the bankers and everybody in between, man.
Hey, man, you're living in a crazy time where you have this guy and his laptop and all this madness on the internet. You're just living in a twilight zone, brother. Like, sometimes you just wake up, you're like, this is like a reality show, or like, this is just crazy, man. And these people are really, some people still believe in Biden. A lot of them are just, they're done with him.
Yeah.
And then now what's the new thing people are saying? Oh, all the conspiracy theorists are right.
Right.
Oh, they're always right. But then what? Oh, let me just go back to sheeple activity.
Wow. I want more wine. Give me some more of that wine. Oh,
sheeple fucks.
Wow. Like, it's I mean, it's
beautiful.
The Lord is a man of war. That's all I'm gonna say. The Lord of Sabaoth, brother. Bro, we know, man. We know what's going on with that. Okay, here's the precept real quick. It's 3 precepts now. Job tells us that the elect is going to be delivered between the 6th and the 7th troubles. That word is there between, and we now understand that the Lord's going to do a strange act and do it suddenly. Now it says here, this is Revelation 16 and 17, right? So it's being reviewed what happens when the missiles hit, basically. So it says, and the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, "It is done." Right? And there were voices, thunders, and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such was not since men were upon the earth.
Holy, man. That's that fathership when it comes by, man.
Those
Holy.
are missiles, man. Really, the missiles,
That's
remember,
from the
because the
missiles.
missiles are going to make the
Go ahead,
Right.
brother.
real to and fro.
Right.
And then it
That's
says
right.
the angels are going to have to hold its foundations, right? So,
Holy,
Right.
man. All praises, man. That's beautiful. All praises. Holy. Holy.
Come
Go ahead.
It says, so mighty an earthquake and so great. And here's the point. Verse 19, it says, Revelation 16:19, and the great city was divided into three parts, right? And the cities, because remember you said, brother, about those nations, the cities of the nations fell. Now, we know that, I'm afraid to say it. I was praying about how I should say it. But anyway, democracy is in every nation on earth. So who's sitting on that throne over there? Right? And these nations are trying to push them out, correct?
Right.
We know the story. Okay. Yeah. And there's some countries they have actually no say in. Actually no say, but they're still there.
Mm-hmm.
But it says the nations fell, the cities of the nations fell, and the great Babylon came into remembrance before our power to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Okay, so when we look at that word remembrance, we can bring it back to when we were in that Babylonian system, the physical one, right? But this is going to be a greater thing because it explains when the destruction here is going to be greater, because it says a great earthquake will come from these missiles, a super great earthquake, never since men were upon the earth, right? So the Lord is really pissed with this thing. So that concludes that part about the destruction of this place. And all these nations where those bases of Esau is, they're going down, right? Their system is going to be destroyed. And we know what the chariots, brothers, are going to do to the wicked, right? Because Revelation 1:7 says they're going to be permitted. A lot of them are going to be permitted to see it before they're destroyed. And some of them are going to get those laser, use the laser beams upon them. The Lord's going to kill a lot of them as well, right? Because it did say that, and they that pierced him, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also pierce him. So yes, the Lord might just preserve a lot of these guys to get destroyed by the chariots as well. Yeah. That's the point, brother. Just thought I'd bring that out, and that's on the when the missiles hit.
Con. All right, brothers, have any lasting precepts or statements? Okay, Con. So we're gonna close up. All right, Lord willing, this was edifying to the whole full elect. We're gonna give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem. All right, double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone who rule well and espouse this word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the whole full elect that are also pushing this word and the sincere one-third that may listen. All right, we'll say Abad Babal. And Lord willing, to the next live lesson, Shalom.
Shalom.